Alrighty. Steeler Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Just got done doing a 3.5 hour live, watching a really great game that was Steelers versus Ravens. And yeah, that was AFC North football, right? But I do want to start off with this. Sucked in Ravens, you losers. One more time. Sucked in Ravens, you losers. I don't want to hear any excuses, like zero this week. I want to hear no Ravens fans excuses that the flags or the penalties or the bad calls or the drop balls or whatever it may be. None. The Ravens had their best team out there, led by Lamar Jackson, who is now 1-4 against the Steelers. A lot of media outlets were saying the Ravens were going to win 31-28, 31-26, 31-24. Didn't happen. A lot of people in my comments were going to say that we're going to win by 30 points. Now, I was talking about this, and I do give this bloke or this person's account respect because there was talk in my comments recently or yesterday, this guy saying, we're going to score 30 coming back after we do. Now, to give this guy credit, he did come back. He came back straight away. So with respect to that commenter, and I'll find the comment. I won't put it on screen, but I'll read it out. So with respect to that commenter, he came back and said something similar. Let me try and read it, what he said, just off the fly. Because some people do talk a talk and then don't come back. So I'll give him a shout out. Right, the Ravens fan said, we're going to score 30. I said, there's no way you're coming back. And his response was, I was wrong. I was wrong about our offense, but right about the Steelers offense. We made too many mistakes, missed field goals, fumbles, and dropped by receivers. Stupid play call and 2-point conversion. We got flagged to death, but a good game. That's fine. You came back. Sweet, we ended, right? But to all the other Ravens fans, sucked in Ravens and Ravens fans, you losers. The Steelers are 8-1. 8-1. The past 9 games. The Steelers have won 8 times and you have lost 1 time. The one time we did lose was against Mitchell Trubisky, throwing 3 interceptions. Now, did Russell Wilson have the best game? No, he didn't. He got sacked 4 times. Offensive line was falling down. Did our running game have the best game? No, we didn't. But our defense turned up. Nick Herbig with the strip fumble on Derrick Henry started the game to get 3 points. Chris Boswell got 6 field goals to win 18-16. We then had Patrick Queen getting a fumble right near the end of the second quarter. Fumble and a fumble recovery. Had a massive interception from Peyton Wilson, putting his hand out there and catching and hugging the ball through and getting a pick. Like, there was great plays for the Steelers to be fired up. And all week, I am not stopping. I'll make videos, I'll make shorts, I'll make lives, I'll make all week, because all I heard all week was the Ravens fan base going, oh, we're a better side. We're going to score 30. We have the number 1 overall offense. We're the better team, yada, yada, yada. This is Steelers football. It's the Steelers versus Ravens. It's physicality football at its best. Ben Skronik, shout out to him. He played really well on teams. Darnell played well for this game. George Pickens had a great game. Cameron Hayward had a big game, put his hand up twice. Dean Larry put his hand up. TJ Watt had a good game in certain points. And they're still chipping him and holding him and pushing him aside so he can't get a free rush one-on-one. There was a flag called where Loudermilk got a sack, and there was a flag by Queen, a bit of holding. The flags weren't the best here and there. There were holding calls, but there were also times where the Ravens shot themselves in the foot with the fumbles, with the ineligible man going down the field and getting into trouble. Like, they could have had a big play to the pass catcher, but they went down the field and the guy went over the line. You can't do that. So the Ravens will shoot themselves in the foot, and it brings them back to reality. And also, this win over the Ravens gives us now a clear lead with a 2-game jump. We're now 8-2. They're now 7-4. We have 1 divisional game over the Ravens. We verse the Browns next week. But I'm going to be so keen and excited the whole next 4 or 5 days, pissing and shitting on the Ravens because they deserve it. Ravens fans are so smug. They remind me of like Dallas Cowboys fans when every year they go into the Super Bowl, right? They thought they're going to walk into our house, Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium, whatever you want to call it, Black and Gold Steeler Nation, walk in and be like, oh, this is easy. We've got this. We've got the best offense. We've got Lamar Jackson. He's awesome. MVP. The real MVP today was Jared Goff. Go and watch that game. 4 TDs, 3 missed passes, 158 passing QBR rating or whatever it's called, and they were lining up the Jaguars. 4 passing TDs. He missed 4 incompletions, 400 yards. Jared Goff is now putting himself in the conversation for MVP. Mike Tomlin put himself in the conversation for Coach of the Year. Dead set. This was a good game, a good victory, even a great victory for the Steelers to get the win over the Ravens. And I don't care how it happened. I don't care if we won by 2 points or 1 point or if we need to score TDs. This is AFC North football, Steelers versus Ravens. Don't care how we won the game. Also, shout out to the coaching staff too by putting in Justin Fields in certain positions. Now, I did see a comment in my live stream saying, well, should had Justin Fields slid and not slid and maybe, lowered his shoulder. If Justin Fields lowers his shoulder then and gets a first, yeah, cool, would be great. But what if he fumbles? What if he fumbles and then everyone hates Justin Fields? I didn't think he did the right idea. He slid. Najee is the running back bell cow. He runs in for a first down. Game's over, right? I think Fields is the right idea. I think Fields was used in a really good play scheme and setting and calling. Like 2 plays out there, they ran towards Fields and he got 8 yard gains. It was a good change of pace. Now, can the Steelers improve? 100%. But was it a great game versus the Baltimore Ravens, who are our rival? 100%. Took care of business. Steelers win 18-16. I am more than fired up. I am beyond fired up to win 18-16 because the Ravens sucked in Ravens, you losers. This brings them back to reality. All I heard all week on the AFC North Roundtable. Check that out too in a few days' time. Check this out if you get this far. Roundtable, 6 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesdays. I'll be there. A lot of people, a few did take. I think Zim took the Steelers, but the other 2 blokes, they took the Ravens, and we took care of business at home. This is a huge win for playoff implications, and a huge win for our Steelers over the Ravens. Teams played out, defense played out. The offense did well enough. Chris Boswell was hitting on 57. Justin Tucker, he was missing from 40 and 47, got a 50-yarder. So they talk about Justin Tucker being a Hall of Fame kicker, maybe, possibly, but he's struggling in 2024. Chris Boswell goes unnoticed. This team played a good game and good enough to get the victory. Rest up, get ready for the Browns. I'm beyond excited. If you go back and watch any of my live stream, I am beyond excited. The fact that we handled business, we played tough football. Peyton Wilson, maybe the game-changing play to get the interception out of his grasp. Dude, 100%. Lamar Jackson and crew went for a 2-point conversion. It was a really easy touchdown. Two-point conversion. Rolled all the way to the left-hand side. No one home. Tried to throw back to the middle of the field. Got a bit stuffed. Offensive lineman almost caught it. And they missed the 2-point conversion. Then all we had to do as the Steelers just had to run the ball. And they got Justin Field moving. And Najee got us a victory. And they played Pittsburgh Steelers football. Smash mouth football. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. Shout out to the organization. Shout out to Arthur Smith. Shout out to Danny Smith, Terrell Austin. Shout out to the defense, Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, Minka, Patrick Queen, all the fellas on the defense. Shout out to a Pittsburgh Steelers team win. That's it. I'm done. Oh, but we have the gauntlet, right? The gauntlet. We've now beaten the Commanders, and the Steelers have beaten the Baltimore Ratbirds. So sucked in Baltimore, you losers. We beat the Commanders by 1, beat the Ravens by 2. Oh, but it's so hard. You know what? Football's hard. Life is hard. You go through it. You have challenges. You meet them face on. You tackle adversity, and you keep pushing forward. And that's what this team did. So the Steelers have now beaten the Washington Commanders. The Steelers have now beaten the Baltimore Ravens. Up next is the Cleveland Browns playing on Thursday Night Football. And I'm beyond excited. Najee stole the show. Najee took away their rally towel, whatever you call it, but you cannot beat the terrible towel in Heinz Field. The terrible towel is poised to strike. You can't beat it. I'm beyond excited for this team. I'm so happy that we're 8-2. We are now leading the division, AFC North. We can go far. If the Bills beat the Chiefs, then they'll knock down a peg. Then it's like on a race to be, we could win. The Steelers could win the AFC rank 1. We could have a bye. thinking too far in front, but there was a great Steelers victory today versus the Baltimore Ravens. One last time. Sucked in, Baltimore Ravens. You losers.
Here